It was a warm day on the island. Toby the tram engine was hard at work. He was headed to the bay to pick up some passengers with his faithful coach, Henrietta. He soon puffed in. Oliver was there.
Hello, Oliver.
Oliver had looked confused. He'd only met Toby twice in his entire lifetime on Sodor.
Who are you again?
I'm Toby. We've only met around twice. Once when Thomas was teaching you about the coaches when they were heading to the big city. And then we were at Vickerstown the night the engines were coming back from the Great Railway Show.
Oh, now I remember. Hello, Toby.
Hello, Mr. Toby.
What are you waiting here for, Oliver?
Toby asked him.
I'm waiting on some logs to arrive to take up the Docks branch line, but I've been waiting here for an hour.
Why don't you take my next passenger train, and I can wait for the logs to take up the Ducks branch line?
Oliver thought about it. He thought it was a great idea.
Toby, are you sure this is a good idea?
Oh, I'm sure, Henrietta. Now you and Anna be good for Oliver now.
Soon the two engines swapped. Oliver was coupled up to Henrietta and waited for the passengers to get on board, while Toby waited for the shipment of logs. Oliver soon shoved out of the station.
I'm looking forward to working with you, Mr. Toby.
Hopefully this goes better than you working with Scotsman.
After about half hour, the logs soon arrived. Toby was soon ready and he rang his bell to leave. Toby chuffed out of the station. Soon, Oliver was reaching his first station. He passed Edward and blew his whistle at him, but he was noticing how much the passengers were complaining.
Are the passengers always this way?
He asked.
You aren't like Toby. The ride felt bumpy.
Actually, I'm better.
That wasn't very nice, Oliver.
Oliver just huffed. He felt insulted by the passengers. Bulgy suddenly drove in with passengers for Oliver's train.
That out-of-date Toby didn't come.
Bulgy didn't mind railways, but he disliked Toby due to how old he was. He often found he was unreliable.
Didn't you get turned into an henhouse?
Yeah, but I learned my lesson. Unlike that prick Birdie.
That's an interesting remark.
The guard's whistle blew and Oliver was on his way. Toby soon pulled into Tidmouth Halt. Duck was surprised to see him.
Hello, Toby. Haven't seen you up here in a while.
Hello, Duck. Oliver and I switched jobs, so I came with Toad and the shipment of logs.
I see. Well, that's interesting. I never knew you and Oliver even knew each other.
We had a very brief conversation, but it wasn't until today we've had a full conversation.
Well, I hope it's been fun so far. I must be going now. Bye, Toby.
Duck puffed away with his passengers. Ryan was waiting at the final station for Toby, but he didn't know that Oliver and Toby had swapped jobs. Oliver soon puffed in. Oliver, what are you doing here?
Toby and I switched jobs.
Switching jobs? Reminds me of two narrow gauge engines doing it.
What's up your small box, Ryan?
None of your concern, Oliver. Bye now. Oliver just laughed. Soon, Toby returned to the bay, but Bulgy was there with some passengers for a boat.
Miserable pricks. I wouldn't have brought them to get on the boat if they had to see you in the process.
That's not very nice, Mr. Bulgy. You should be kinder to Mr. Toby.
Once Bulgy's passengers got off him, he roared away.
Ya boo snub.
Oliver soon chuffed in.
Hello again, Toby. How was your day?
Interesting. Toad and I told most interesting stories. How about you?
Average. The passengers complained I wasn't like you. One was really grumpy, so I told him off.
Oh, daring are we?
He wasn't really Great Western me, so don't tell Duck.
The two engines laughed. Toby the tram engine and Oliver the Great Western engine and their loyal rolling stock are now fine friends. And they know if they ever want to swap jobs again, they'll do it without hesitation.
Thank you.